Welcome everybody to a very special episode of the Power Comics Book Club. We have some breaking fucking news here at Power Comics. We're about to blow your fucking minds. Probably only going to blow about 12 people's minds here with this, but nevertheless, this is some important information. I'm joined here. Our panel this evening is Benjamin Marra. Ben, how you doing?
Doing well, thank you.
And our head researcher here at Power Comics, Gabe Dikel, joins us.
Cheers, brother.
Okay. So without further ado, everybody here should know this comic here by now. But if you don't, Jontar issue number 1 is ostensibly the Citizen Kane of Power Comics. This is, to us, probably the biggest gateway drug that we had into getting into this. I think it perfectly exemplifies, the untrained art, the frustration, the unclear storytelling, the hasty drawings, and all the dreams of teenagers trying to make comic books in the 80s, basically. Wouldn't you guys say it?
Yeah, and it was exactly. Much like Citizen Kane, it was illustrated by John D. Rockefeller.
Yeah.
This is the ultimate power comic. This is just, it has everything you want. It's perfect in every way.
Amazing weird concepts. Yeah, just like complete non sequitur trains of thought.
Totally, and it's a bizarre story about Jontar, who is a sort of makeshift hero. He starts as a male dancer. He's a male stripper, which is
he's also
a sanitation worker.
A sanitation worker.
He's a garbage man, male stripper, which is amazing, and he actually dies trying to save his boss, who's the owner of a gym, and he gets reborn by some sort of elvish magic from a far off land. These elves kind of resurrect him, and he becomes a street warrior here. And so this issue captivated us, and especially the art, which is why we're gathered here today, is to talk about the artist Tony Lorenz, who drew this comic book. We've interviewed him extensively here on this channel. You should go check that out if you haven't. But after this issue came out, and we've heard figures that this sold 20,000 copies, 5,000 copies, or whatever, but the response to this comic book, mainly the art, was bad, and thus the Bill W. Miller, who is the writer of this comic, fired Tony Lorenz pretty quickly after he drew this issue, which we think is unfair and unjust. But anyway, and so then when he went to publish this issue, which is Jontar issue number 2, they switched gears and they hired a different artist here by the name of Dane Barrett, who completely different aesthetic, right, guys?
Definitely.
Yeah.
It still has that power comic feel, but yeah, definitely a different visual language than Tony's.
Yeah, it's a little softer around the edges there, but yeah, still pretty.
It's like airier. Doesn't have as heavy a hand.
Mm-hmm. And a lot more like generic in some ways. I think Tony would love to be this. At this point, Tony was trying to be really mainstream, but this is like, you could see there's some comic tropes and some of the
totally
architecture of the comic. That's Tony was a little more loose around the edges.
And that's what we love about it. And so,
oh yeah, man.
So what happened is, let me just catch you all up. So Tony was fired, as we said, from issue number 1. In the back of issue number 2, the publisher basically publishes all these reviews of the first issue, trashing Tony, saying the art's really bad, blah, 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 blah. And Tony saw this, man, and he actually picked this up in the newsstands, and he was quite hurt by that. And we talked to him about that extensively on our interview. But just the other day, literally maybe 5 days ago from when we're recording this, I get a message frantic from Tony, and he's like, Evan, I don't know. You won't believe this. I was digging around my stuff. I went through some bins, and I have no memory of this, no recollection of this. So maybe like in a feverish state, he actually drew issue number 2 of Jontar.
Woo! Oh my God.
Amazing.
And so this was done in 1986. He must have drawn this, he alleges, before he was fired. So in the time between that, when the issue 1 came out And then when the publisher said, no, you're fired, he had already drawn this. So this is unseen. We are unveiling Jontar number 2, drawn by Jontar number 1 artist, Tony Lorenz. And don't those two go together way better than these two?
Oh, yeah. Oh my God, of course. And just put number 2 right on top again, side by side here. The other one. No. Yeah. I mean, right off the bat, Tony's font is so much fucking cooler than this. I love that Jontar font. I want the whole alphabet. Subscribe to Power Comics, and we will give you our Power Comics Jontar font for you to type your. I love it. It's so weird. It perfectly encapsulates.
And it's the exact same too. He must have copied
Tony.
it.
Yeah, I know. He was like, "What else do I need?" It's the same like header completely, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Love it, man.
So
the thing about Jontar is like it's printed. It looks like something that somebody printed off their high school printer somewhere.
Yes,
it just has that homemade quality, that feel, and it just, I don't know. I find that really comforting.
Mm-hmm.
That
Me
sort
too.
Of feel. And so the second issue kind of continues that.
Well, this one does, yeah. And one thing about the size difference, like real quick Jontar history lesson here for y'all, is that the reason these are sized differently is because Tony turned his artwork in big like this. It wasn't sized appropriately for a standard comic, and so they actually had to take it and cut it up apparently when they were printing it. So that's why some of the original art is not intact, because they had to actually cut up the frames and lay them out. That's what he says. So,
oh my God,
that could be another reason why. I think that cost the publisher extra money, and I think that was another reason why they were like, I don't know about this Tony guy. But nevertheless, let's course correct history here. We're taking a time machine back to 1986, looking at a parallel universe, actually more than that. But so here's what we're gonna do. This is going to get a little complicated here, but I think what we're going to do is we're going to do a side-by-side comparison, panel by panel, looking through Jontar number 2. Does that sound cool with everybody here?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Locked and loaded.
All right.
Looks good. Can't wait.
Looks good. Okay. So right off the top, just looking at the covers, $1.75 here for petrified elves and a gold camel.
It's a deal.
It's a good deal.
It's a steal is what it is.
It's a steal deal. So,
yeah, it really is.
So I'm going to start with the Dane Barrett one first, because this issue actually has something that Tony's does not, which is the cold open sort of telling the story of issue number 1, which is wild. It's wild because it's reinterpreted in this artist's style. And so basically, just like what I said before, you're going to see a story here about there's a rooftop assassin who's shooting at a target, but then this elf appears and he inadvertently shoots that. It drops in a trash can that Jontar finds while he's working his sanitation job, which he gets fired from. It's crazy. That's just where we're starting here. This is like, previously on Jontar. And then he gets stabbed by a goon while trying to protect his friend Dolph Emerson, I believe, who's the gym owner.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gets transported to this elf realm here where there's this master elf keeper. And then he gets reborn as this sort of street warrior with a sword. And then we're left at a cliffhanger here where there is this mysterious woman who rode in a luxury limousine with an Arab sheik. And that is where we're left off on issue number 1. And now we're getting into Camel Gold. So here we go, guys. You ready for the first look? First look. So this is Tony's interpretation here of the first panel. So I guess we'll look at this right off the bat, but
damn, oh my God.
I know. And the first thing I wanted to say, I want to ask this to you, Ben. Is there another example in comics history where there is the same comic book from the same script drawn by 2 different artists?
Yes.
A lot? Is this like a thing that happens, or?
It's not a lot. It's not a lot, but it's probably happened a handful of times. And there's a famous one with a G.I. Joe issue. I can't remember the specific one that was drawn by a young Todd McFarlane and then had to be redrawn by veteran artist Marshall Rogers. I think because the writer, his name is escaping me at the moment.
That's okay.
But
we're here for Jontar.
Yeah, legendary G.I. Joe writer. Wrote the whole thing. I don't think he was happy with Todd McFarlane's efforts, so
I see.
They redrew the whole issue and.
Well, I'm sure that happens.
You can see
I'm sure that happens, but like, is Todd McFarlane's issue exist now? It must somewhere where you can see it, right?
It does exist, and they reprinted it after he became a superstar.
Of course.
The guys over on Comics Kayfabe, shout out, did a video about it. That's very good.
Oh, awesome! So this is like our own version of that.
Yeah, that issue of G.I. Joe is actually one of my favorite comics ever. Actually, I think because of this weird sort of like mystique about it. But I love Marshall Rogers' artwork, and that issue is just amazing.
Wow. So yeah, this so very rare here that we're looking at these parallel universes. But let's dive right in. So off the bat, you see this. I guess this Arab character here, a Middle Eastern character, being chased by someone in a car, and it's interesting. You're seeing how this is the the interpretation of it. He gets shot. Tony goes for the blam. Dane goes for the pock as he gets shot. And most importantly here, he drops the gold camel, which you're seeing here in both of these. This gold camel statue here. And then I love this because the same dialogue. I just love this and how he's interpreting these different, random characters here. But there's another martyr, Dolos. And then I need his sacred statue for material gains, which is obviously bizarre dialogue. And now this character here is picking up the gold statue, and he's acquired it. And I love the two different depictions of this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's where it really stands out. I mean, I would say first four panels go to Tony, and that last one I'm kind of with Dane on.
Yeah,
weird.
Totally.
If we're gonna really break it down,
we should be keeping score.
Should we?
You should have a little like thing in the corner of the video here.
Who wins the page?
4-1 for me.
Okay, so who wins the page on this one here? Who wins this page?
I'm going Tony.
All right, Tony wins, and then Dane gets the other page. All right, I'm taking it. I got it. Okay. All right, page number 2. Also cool here just to see the two different artists. Shouting out here in the title page. All right, let's go to the next page. Amazing. Okay.
Oh my God.
I know this is going to be exhaustive, you guys.
No,
okay.
This is so excited right now.
Okay. So now a shout out to General Franklin. Before you commandeered my Jeep, I was delivering a message to you. I'm actually going to read from Tony's because it's clearer. From the Harem Queen. Yes, my spy in America. Okay, so then that's a reference to the female harem character that we saw at the end of issue number 1 of Jontar. And then now we see this handwritten note here. Obviously way clearer here in Tony's issue. Talking about the Benson assassination. That's the assassination. The conspiracy behind that is covered extensively in issue number 1.
Mm-hmm.
But Benson assassin eliminated Tom Roy to visit Sheikh Ron Dual at the embassy. Request instructions. Tom Roy. And then this guy, this character gets a message. Return to base. Our queen needs help. So now the harem queen is going to be returning to base. So this issue, interesting here that you're seeing 4 panels from Tony and a 5 here from Dane.
And how similar panel 4 is on both of them is kind of staggering. I guess that must have been the notes for sure.
Yeah, it must have been called out in the script, an overhead shot.
I mean, if you go to the Power Comics Patreon, patreon.com/powercomics, we actually posted the script to Jontar 1. So you can actually see what Bill Miller's scripts look like. So they didn't seem that detailed to me. So, but just something that's interesting of note.
But even the U-turn, I love that, just like that weird thing they both went for, the the U-turn in the desert with the dust trail or the
Yeah.
tire tracks and the
Yeah.
True.
so cool.
Very cool.
And
And
you
this is
know,
cool too,
I
actually.
Love Tony, nothing against him, but all of his characters look like they're smuggling deli meat in their jacket. Like that first panel, like Muscles. He's the king of the back abs.
The back abs, yeah. Yeah.
But this is a tough one, man.
Who wins this page?
I gotta go with Dane because that last panel is
panel's
100%,
terrific.
Yeah, pretty awesome.
And also the way he paced it too. Yeah, it just makes more sense, you know. But yeah, I love that widescreen.
Yeah.
Dead Arab.
Yeah.
Foreground thing.
Yeah, it's great. Okay, next. Okay. Here we go. This is great.
What a character.
Yeah, so here we go. So now, finally, Jontar returns in this issue here. So this is Across the Atlantic. Well, Jontar, how's it feel being a fugitive? It's unfair. I was only protecting Dolph Emerson from those mobsters. So now we're introduced to this new character, this sailor character, who is not in the first issue at all. And Jontar is on the run because he's kind of caught up in this weird conspiracy I was mentioning earlier. You should have gone to the police station with Detective Dolchek. I felt like I was reincarnated as a death angel, which is kind of amazing. And I couldn't convince him I was dead to begin with. And then the sailor says, I doubted you too until you found an elf in the garbage. So you were full of shit until you found that elf in the garbage. One of the best moments from issue number 1 is when he finds the elf in the trash can.
And it's the reason that he's fired. He saw an elf in the trash can and they fire him from his job. That's fucked up, man.
It's really insane. And then Jontar inexplicably makes a reference to, you think it's like the elves they found on Temple Island? So that's the first reference we get to Temple Island, right, everybody?
Yes.
Yeah, what's up with that?
When you're reading this comic, I don't even know what's happening at any time. So it could be the first reference. It could be something from issue 1. I have no idea.
Power Comics do a good job of making you feel like you are the one who doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah. You're like, am I dumb? Am I the one that's dumb?
I really struggled with the storytelling in this issue.
Me too.
Versus in this issue. So,
I struggled with both.
Okay. So maybe it's neither their fault. But yeah, okay. So, Temple Island, what the fuck's that? We'll soon find out. There's the professor's boat. Okay, who's the professor? So, none of these characters are in issue number 1, BTW. No sailor, no professor. These are all new people that are being thrown at us here by the writer. So, and then quickly just looking over here at Dane's work, I actually remember, because this is fucking hilarious. In issue number 3, I'm such a Jontar junkie. In issue number 3, I was reading it earlier, where they have the readers write in and talk about, certain things. And the one criticism that's in here that's mentioned is that, like, one guy was like, oh, there's no way this dock would be floating with just one piling. There's no way. And it's like, look at this dock with the one piling. That would sink. That's like the one thing that bothered somebody who
enough to write into Jontar and complain about.
Yeah,
amazing.
So, but anyway, I think it's, this is just a simple dialogue scene here, but I mean, to me, it looks like Tony's putting in more of the work here, filling in the backgrounds and really taking.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's Tony by a landslide. That first panel is incredible. And
Tony's backgrounds are great.
Yeah, exactly.
I love how he draws
his sailor guy is way cooler.
He is way cooler. Yeah. So easy,
It is
right?
funny how you mentioned that this is just basically like a dialogue scene of like exposition, and yet we're all more confused for it. Like it's supposed to be sort of setting things up for us to understand what's happening, and we're more in the dark than ever.
Yeah,
because it's a dump. It's an exposition dump. You don't even. It's so hard to comprehend all the shit they're throwing at you.
Absolutely. Okay, moving on. We could be here all day, I think.
No doubt.
Ooh.
Hold on 1 second. Putting Tony's work on the floor here. Okay.
Oh.
No, these are Xeroxes. I don't know if I mentioned that, but these are Xeroxes of the original art that he has.
Oh my God.
So, all right. So here we go. This is a great comparison, this page here.
Mm-hmm.
So now we see another character here. And this is so confusing. I guess so. The sailor's name is Sammy. Ahoy, Sammy. Hi yourself. Where's your boss? And this is the professor's boat. He stayed behind to do more research, but he wanted me to deliver this crate immediately. So they get this crate. And then Jontar is like, I bet it's an elf in there. Which is like, what? And then this drawing, Gabe.
Dude, it's pure Lorenz. Pure Lorenzian
It is.
elf rendering.
It is.
He loves a squatting elf.
He loves a squatting elf. Sure is lifelike. And then where to go? Disappearing elf. And a perfect throwback to that page I showed you earlier from Jontar 1 of how he depicts disappearing elves, which is amazing. So very, I think, interesting discrepancy here between the two pages, because it's like you can see the liberties they're taking here kind of with how they're interpreting the script in terms of like this character is completely different from this guy here. And coming from the dock, the inside panel. Obviously, he's drawing more. Or no, it's the same. It's 6 panels, right? Yeah, no, it's 7 panels. So he's drawing more panels, and the way he's depicting the elves is interesting. And I mean, yeah, totally different, right?
Yeah. Dane is way more static. I think Tony's just like much more dynamic. He feels more of. Regardless of skill, he has more of a comic brain, I think, and he's way more dynamic and way more consistent, I feel like. Where, as an artist myself, when I've tried to draw stuff, it's hard to maintain a consistency in your work where there's a million ways to draw something, and even if you have your own style, it's hard to make it look,
I agree.
And maybe I'm giving him too much credit, but
yeah,
he really does have his own language that he uses.
Totally. Ben?
Yeah, I prefer Dane's like three-tiered panel layout to like the 2-tiered layout that Tony uses. I think, and Tony said that George Perez was a big influence on him, and George Perez often uses these like very tall vertical panels, which I don't feel like are the best because they're just really hard to read. However, Tony's work is just so much weirder and more singular than Dane's, so it's just like I give him a pass for this stuff because it just seems like
it adds to it
it's more of like an outsider art style for comics, which is it's just more unique.
That's why we're here. So that means we're awarding this to Tony, right?
Yeah.
Right? Okay, cool. So Tony.
I mean,
3-1. All right. So,
just that image of the elf in the box is so weird.
No scale. No thought about scale of that.
So strange. Yeah, it's amazing. All right, moving on. Moving on up.
Ooh. Oof. Love it.
Yeah, I think this is already a no contest, but okay. Interesting how Dane chose to render in 4 panels what Tony's doing in 1 here. Damn, they must all disappear like that. Over here. Damn, they must all disappear like that as he's kicking the box off the ship.
So weird.
So weird. Will the professor believe this? I suggest you bring him back to investigate. Okay, and then Jontar gets really mad. I'm going with you. Those elves are somehow responsible for my new life. So, which is so weird. And then he's like, Sammy. Oh, this is great. Sammy, who's that? And then you reveal the relationship now is revealed between Jontar and Sammy the sailor. My godson. He could be of use to the professor and vice versa. So, I love this too. So, interesting, right? Depiction here. It'd be interesting to look at the script to see what it says, but like, who is this guy? They both went for
Yeah.
that. I do like this Jontar face.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
A lot, but I do like the penisy hair more.
Yeah. Look, Dane is a little bit more technically proficient, and
Sort
Tony,
of, though.
yeah,
This is pretty bad, in my opinion.
Tony loves the penile hairdo. He's mastered it. I love Dane's last panel there for sure.
This one?
Yeah.
I think he's pretty. Overall, he's pretty static. It just feels like very almost like a Sunday Funnies sort of layout.
Yes, totally. No background work though here. Not even in this panel. Not seeing water. Not seeing anything. Tony, we're seeing it all. Except for here, obviously. But I don't know. I don't know. I think I'm more leaning towards Tony. But what do you guys say?
Oh yeah, for me, I mean, I can't. I do love.
Are you auto Tony?
How weird. Yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to not like Tony.
I know.
But that his choice on that first 4 panels, Dane, that is so strange that I got to give him credit for trying something. Yeah. Failing at something there.
Ben, what say you?
But I do like Dane.
Oh, sorry.
But yeah, no, Tony for sure.
I think I'm gonna go with Dane on this one.
Yeah.
Because I love that that top tier sequence of Jontar kicking the.
It's pretty weird points.
Box.
Weird points.
It's super strange. Although I do think I prefer Tony's kind of weakling Jontar kick of the box, just kind of it's just kind of
angsty.
Yeah, I think that's it's more power comicsy.
Yeah.
But I do kind of like how ridiculous those panels are up top on Dane's page. And
I like this, but I think you just sold me on this even more. So
yeah,
I think I'm.
But I like the characters that Dane is drawing, the sailor characters. I think I like them a lot.
You're a hard Dane.
I'm
gonna go with Dane on this page. Yeah.
Damn.
So what do we do here?
The heel of this video. You're the. What is it? 2-1?
I think it's 2-1. I'm sorry, Ben. We love you. But...
That's fine.
Okay, cool.
You're apologizing to Ben and not Dane, the artist.
Okay. We did give Dane 1 page so far. So.
Yeah.
I'll be a little more objective, but Ben inadvertently sold me on that last page, but he didn't even know. He did. I was starting to go with Ben, and then I was like, no, that kick is what sold it to me. All right.
The kick is good.
Okay, an hour later, good thing Jontar left when he did. Okay, here comes Detective Dean Dolchek, the weirdest coat in all of comics. And Samuel Smith, Sammy to my friends, he says, I'm Detective Dean Dolchek. Dolph Emerson tells me you can give me some background on Jontar. And then this is actually kind of amazing here. We may have to give this one to Dane already, but I only know about his early life. Kenny Tarr. So Jontar's dad's name is Kenny Tarr. He was an avid reader of fantasy pulps, giving his son a barbarian. So Tony typo, because over here it says giving his son a barbarian name. Tony forgot to write
Tony
name.
typo.
Yeah, Tony typo. Giving his son a barbarian was just part of his fantasy world. And then now, this amazing silhouettes here. Beautiful clouds here by Tony. Jontar is very confused, I'll say. I know, and I hope to see him before he goes mad. Wow. So predicting Jontar losing his fucking mind here, which I love. Obviously, the main differences here is we get to see what Jontar's dad looks like in Dane's rendering. This nice man here reading a Conan book, dreaming up of these fantasy characters and saying, someday I'm going to name my kid Jontar for no reason. So, all right, boys, what do you say?
Well, man, I mean, the one thing I've noticed here is Tony's amazing use of black and white and how genuinely, from an artistic perspective, it's way more engaging. But I think I'm gonna go with Dane because I get to see Kenny Tar.
I know.
And that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted out of this page. Was what does Kenny Tar look like?
Yeah.
Tar
Ben?
is his last name. That's unbelievable.
So he's Jontar Tar.
Yeah, it's really strange.
Uh.
Yeah, I've got to go with Dane on this one too. Yeah, because that center panel is like such a good decision. Nice
scorecard.
Yeah, like it calls into question. I mean, if his last name's Tar and you name your kid, is it John Tar or is it just John Tar?
Tar.
If it's just John Tar,
shit.
Then his name is just John. It's not necessarily like a barbarian name necessarily. Wow. And Kentar sounds like a barbarian name to me too.
Well, he's Kenny Tar.
Yeah.
It's so funny. So funny.
Well, I can't really see in
seems like a weird detail.
In Dane's include. Is he Kenny Tar one word in Dane's issue?
No, it's two. Kenny Tar was an avid reader of fantasy pulps. Giving his son a barbarian name was just part of his fantasy world. So, yep. So, okay. Well, amazing. One goes to Dane. Congratulations, Dane.
Oh my God.
All right, so let's move it along here. All right, so now we're introduced to Maximilian Tomroy. Maximilian Tomroy to see Torin Randul. Jesus Christ. Mr. Tomroy, welcome to our embassy's recreation room. And then Tomroy says, Sheik Randul, I. Oh, and then he's caught off guard. That dance is American. So he's seeing these Middle Eastern ladies dancing American for him. He's very happy to see that.
That's another Tony typo because I think it's supposed to be dancer. It's American.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right.
She's doing the twist.
Wait, hold on.
In Saudi Arabia.
Hold on. I think we got to add a Tony typo counter. All right, so 2 Tony typos.
Do we subtract?
No.
Subtract a score.
It's somewhere in the middle. So okay, that makes sense. Just documenting it, yeah. That makes sense. Okay, I got you. So I was like, that dance is American. So that dancer's American, and then the Sheik says,
the Watusi.
But she has the grace to dance on the Nile. Feel free to get to know her. And he's like, yeah, I love the drawing of Maximilian Tomroy over here. So, and then he's like, I can't believe I'm doing this. So long since I had sex.
Awesome.
Unbelievable. So now let me ask you this, guys. I don't see the words, I can't believe I'm doing this, it's been long since I've had sex, written here. So is that a Tony
I think that's an editorial decision. I think they went back and made that edit. They cut that out of the final issue or final script for.
Yeah.
I wonder. I don't know what the circumstances were behind
mystery
Tony, inking this or drawing this thing, but I'm glad it's in this issue. I'll say that much. It's way creepier. And again, with the shoplifting Oscar Mayer products in the top panel there.
And also, yeah, the carrot zipper he always has too.
Yeah.
What say you guys?
I mean, I think Dane's is way more together, and
you're saying Dane?
Kind of. I mean, I love. I don't know, man.
Face,
I gotta be.
Man.
You know what? I gotta go with my heart. You just mark me down for Tony on every single.
So you're on it, Tony. Where are you at with this, Ben?
I gotta go with Dane on this one. I want to give it to Tony, but I don't really like those 4-panel pages.
Yeah,
just the way it's split up like that.
Okay.
I like.
I'm kind of with you.
I like the other shots. He's got a kind of a more varied shot selection. I like the close up of the Sheik. I like the Sheik, his design better in general.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I just like that page a lot.
Which is very confusing, just for a second, because Tony's drawing of the Sheik is already established in issue number 1.
Yeah.
And so, hard right turn here. Which kind of
major redesign.
which is a major redesign, yeah. So, Okay, moving on. Let's keep it moving. We got a lot to get through here, boys. So
We do.
we should pick up the pace here a little bit. All right, so then she goes into her room here, and she's stripping. This is very odd to me here already. And then, so I have to make this quick, he says. And then she's like, "Keep your pants on." And then, amazing.
Look at the size of her head.
I know, her head is
Yeah.
gigantic. And then he's like, "What?" Amazing drawing here.
Yes.
He's caught with his pants down. And then outside in the roof, Stacy, get that bastard up here. So she wants to get Maximilian up in this bizarre hovercraft.
Mm-hmm.
This like Return of the Jedi kind of, Jabba's world thing that he's forcing him up into. So very, very bizarre. But over here, let's look at what Dane's doing. I do like his rendering of the character. To me, I think this is very too Jontarian. She looks a lot like him. Even and I'm kind of digging her look here. And it's cleaner to me, but take it away, guys. What do you think?
No question, Tony.
I know it's hard to judge because, like, for Power Comics or for real life.
What am I judging? Yeah, I mean that's the biggest head I've ever seen. That insane silhouette that's clearly like a man's body that he traced, and that last panel is out of control. That's incredible.
This one, yeah. Where are you at with this, Ben?
Dane's stuff is like clearer, and you get a good shot of the hovercraft and everything in the bottom. But I gotta go with Tony on this one, just because that page is so weird and strange.
So weird.
And it's got I love the drawing of the woman with the big head.
Me too.
I love the next panel with the what and like the crazy lines. His pants are falling down. That's so great. Yeah. And then the hovercraft panel is so confusing. I don't even know if I would have understood what that panel was depicting if I didn't read Dane's version first.
Exactly.
So funny. Real quick, just it's interesting to see like the emphasis here that Tony went with the what, with this like what, making it way more dramatic, more important, more impactful, and then Dane's just like what, So
yeah.
big difference here in that. So moving on. Okay, I already like what I'm seeing. So from here, right off the bat. How much did he tell Torrin? Nothing. One look at me and he was stoned. So their whole thing was to seduce Mr. Tomroy. He should have seats and safety belts on this craft. So now they're jetting away here, which is a beautiful shot here from Tony. Sell us those. So he's talking about the weapons the guy has. I'll never do business with you, especially since you had Dirk Benson killed. So now these same people are involved in the murderous assassination from the first issue, which is confusing. You should be glad we killed your competitor. Hang on now, we're going down. So apparently there's some arms deal that's happening between all these characters, between the issue number 1 and these characters. So it's a little dizzying. But off the bat here, I love Tony, here in terms of the backgrounds and the clouds, man. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Go on, Ben.
I'm just gonna go with Tony on this one. It's just like a cooler page. Even though I don't like that 4-panel sort of split, I just think it's like just a way more interesting looking page of panels.
Totally.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go with Dane on this one. I kind of like it more.
Wow. I'm going Tony.
I mean, look.
I'm like default Tony.
Yeah, I am too. I get it.
Yeah.
I like that weird panel though, and the speech bubbles trailing.
Yeah, totally.
Funny idea.
It's pretty effective.
It is. Shout out to Dane on that, but we didn't win the round. Sorry. Okay, going here now. Catching back up with Jontar on the professor's boat. Jontar, did you see something streak across that sky? So now they spot the hovercraft. No, I was admiring the island. And why is it called Temple Island? Because long ago it was a refuge for exiled mystics, which does not lend itself to why it's called Temple Island at all. I guess it does. The professor found the petrified elves. The petrified elves, guys. What is that? Last month. I wonder what he's finding now. And then this crazy onlooker says, invaders, those soldiers must have the island confused with Granada, which is like, what? And then as soon as, I guess, is this, which I don't quite understand. Yeah, so this is the crew from the hovercraft, which unless you were paying way close attention, Tony does not do a clear job of explaining that this is not, he's talking about the hovercraft people, not the Jontar boat people, which is really confusing as they're coming to the island, which Dane does communicate that that's those people coming to the island, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So do we just auto give it to Dane, or?
I guess it depends on what our criteria are for success, because
no, success is what's weirdest and coolest.
Right. Well, then I kind of have to give it to Tony, although I think I like the page by Dane better, just overall.
Yeah.
I just like the way the forms are sort of speaking to me. But from a storytelling standpoint, Dane is more successful.
Right. I think Bill Miller's scripts are absolutely mental, and
yes.
Tony is just encapsulating it better. I think if the best comic artist were to try to illustrate this, it would be so boring and bad. But
you're right on.
Tony, just give it to Tony from here on out. I'm sorry, Dane. But
okay, I can do that.
I think some of the confusion, the blame has to be laid at the feet of the script writer, because it is crazy.
It's absolutely mental. Absolutely mental. All right, moving along here.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, that's my the gold camel. This is my down payment. So weird. General Franklin, a boat is coming. So now they're seeing the professor's boat with Jontar inside. Now they're running behind the rocks. They steal the idol from the Middle East only to drop it here. So now I'm so confused where everybody is, who everybody is, what's going on. The one with a sword is a fugitive. So now they're actually commenting on Jontar, I believe, seeing him from across on the boat. And then here comes Jontar bringing his motorcycle to Temple Island, which is amazing. So confusing no matter how you slice it. Right?
Oh my god, that silhouette, the bottom middle panel on Tony's is just this black. What am I even looking at? It's so bizarre. It's incredible
art. Yeah.
Totally. It looks like two giant squids or something that I'm looking at in silhouette. But yeah, so amazing, helping him unload the motorcycle here. Default Tony, right?
Yep.
Oh yeah, default Tony for sure.
Okay,
going. I think I got to give it to Dane.
Really?
Those middle panels, where the camels falling out of the guy's satchel. To me, I read that as it is magically teleporting out of the satchel.
Yeah, dude.
Which is weird. And then the way that Jontar is getting the bike down onto the beach, it looks like he's pulling it onto the boat, not letting it So it's just super confusing, and that kind of gave me that vibration of that weird power comic.
Yes.
Confusion. So I give it to Dane. But that's
all right. All right, I'll do it in the spirit of this getting to being a close race.
And also just the idea of bringing a motorcycle onto a sandy beach.
Yeah.
Mental.
So mental.
And if they wanted to make it a cooler entrance, he would have launched it off of a ramp from the boat.
Totally.
Onto the beach.
Totally.
Instead of
Yeah, it'd been flying.
But that wouldn't have been that wouldn't have been Power Comics. It's more Power Comics for him to be struggling.
Yeah, struggling to
motorcycle.
Awkwardly carry it between two people. Yeah.
Yeah, 5 panels of.
Yeah. Right off the bat here, what? Jontar dysmorphia. It and I are inseparable. I don't know what he's trying to convey there. Hey, someone's screaming, and it's not him. And so that's interesting that this one panel is now 2 of Dane's. Soldier, we're only acting. don't know what that means. I do not know what that means. I'm not. And then so like, it's interesting to see the differences here. Like, what is going on here with this glowing penile in the foreground?
If it looks like a dick, it's the back of someone's head.
Yeah, sure. I know. and then the two characters here are kissing. Like, what?
Oh,
that's a completely two different interpretations. But that being said, even though I'm totally mystified by this, these two panels are awesome. Around these two, unhand her, and then he just stabs some weird floating mummy
on his bike. He's stabbing on the bike. It rules.
Like, yeah, like, what is that?
His bike, which is a stack of like papers. What is
the
column on that bike?
Yeah,
you just gave up, Tony.
And then this guy's like, "Oh man, like, what are you doing?" It's so. This is a crazy interpretation.
This is really where the story just falls off a cliff.
Falls off a cliff.
Yeah,
I have no idea what's going on.
It's just madness. It's
pure madness.
Tony's page is like bordering on surrealist artwork.
It is.
Like, I don't think he's intending it that way, but it's just it's impossible to decipher.
I love this guy.
I like Dane's, because what sells it for me is that kiss, and I have no idea why that's happening. And then the way that guy is drawing his weapon, and then Jontar is nowhere to be seen near that guy, and then all of a sudden he's stabbing him, like he appears out of nowhere. I just love it.
Yeah, this is just he's stabbing a mummy. He's literally stabbing like a lifeless ragdoll floating in midair. I don't know.
Like
Which do you award it to? Which do you award
it to? What's special about Dane is that it's so power comics that like you can draw anything and he still makes this guy the most like B-movie extra bad guy.
Totally. All right, so Dane, are we gonna go Dane?
Yeah, I'd like to go Dane.
Okay.
Tony or death.
Tony or death. All right. All right. So now Stacy is part of this crew, I guess, and I'm part of this. I'm on an expedition with the professor. Then let's find him, and then something's wrong. Who else could be on this island? I don't know who these people are. I'm lost. Of course, right, exactly, Tony. Who are these people? I don't know, Tony.
he gets it. Yeah.
Yeah, no one my army can't handle. Which army? You're leading it for your own gain. You killed Benson thinking that I would give you free arms behind Torrin's back. Oh, I don't know. It's like referencing a very obscure part of issue number 1. Benson was my enemy, but I didn't want him dead. Now I'm a suspect. So now there's like even more conspiracy. Amazing punch here, though, with weird knuckles. Look at those crazy teeth knuckles. And yeah, I have to say again, such a departure on the two. Look at this.
I know.
Dane might be winning it for that one. The dialogueless ghetto smile here.
So great.
It's so mental, dude.
This is fucking awesome.
I gotta give it to Tony though, because
what? Okay.
Yeah, because of that Xerox paper stack motorcycle, and then that next panel punch, and I have no idea who these people are.
I know. Yeah, I don't know who these people are. The lion's mane wearing around his fist.
Who is this guy that's with him?
I don't know.
He's wearing like
candy.
Yeah, this Harlem Globetrotters uniform that he's fucking wearing. Oh, so he's okay.
His lips too.
It's amazing.
Right. And obviously, like another Tony defining quality is the cheeks filled with yogurt. Yeah. All right, Tony. God damn, I love you, Tony. Jesus Christ. All right, moving on. Nothing else needs to be said about that at all. But good effort by Dane there on that throat slit.
Yeah, it's a close call, man. Close race.
I'm crying. Okay. We got you off the hook. I filed a false. These people are just like fighting each other on this fucking elf island, and like talking about like I filed a false report on you at one point in time. It's like the most bizarre fucking dialogue.
I mean, this is like basically an Avengers movie.
It's
they're one and the same.
That's true. That is true, actually. And then Torin knew the assassin, so he went to America to eliminate him himself. Okay, so it's like this is trying to make us understand issue number 1 more, but it's doing it the worst job possible. People will think I hired him and killed him. What? Who are you talking about? Who the fuck are you?
Yeah, we don't care anymore.
Yeah. Okay, but Tony fucking wins the page here on a landslide for this.
Oh, incredible.
This like
so amazing.
Spit.
Yeah.
This like spit tube here. This like unbelievable spit.
Great hair, man. That's his best hair to date.
It is. Panel. Yeah. Which one?
Yeah. I mean, any of them. I think the spit hair for sure.
So, and again, it's worth noting, there's no spit anywhere on Dane's art here.
No way.
No way. So, I don't know. I don't know what's
Tony's
going on.
got like the NC-17 version.
Oh no, he does. I'm sorry. He's spitting at him right here.
Oh, so subtle.
These 2 panels must be on Tony's next page, but still, yeah, like George Bush Sr. here getting spit in the face.
What's weird is like Jontar is barely in this issue.
I know. Who are
the
these
story
people?
revolves around all these other characters. It's really weird.
So upsetting. Anyway, you guys are all in on Tony on this one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No doubt.
Okay, cool. Great. Just had to check. All right, here's Jontar. Thank God. Oh wait, sorry. No, I'm here. Okay, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Because this is nuts. Okay, so real quick, these 2 panels are from here. This dialogue exchange. Right? So that's right here. Where Jontar's. How many elves are there? Elves? Are you serious? You just gave yourself away. I urge you to tell you the truth about yourself, or else. So he thinks she's an elf, I guess. I don't know. Weird. Or who she is. And then here we're getting the backstory. And Dane's interpretation is always, because he draws issue number 3 too. Anytime he does a flashback, he just makes it really doodly. It gets really doodly and crunched, which I don't like, actually.
No.
No way.
Yeah, it's terrible. I do like this, but where she's talking about the monologue here about how then she's explaining this convoluted plot about how she's part of the spy network, but she's working for one person, working against the other, and I'm working for both, but they don't know, and I'm smuggling coconuts here, so, but I think it, obviously Tony's cramming it in one drawing, and Dane's making a meal out of it. So I don't know, guys.
Yeah, fuck you, Dane. Get out of here.
All right. Cool. 10. All right, moving on. Sometimes it's this mushy kiss coming up. All right, so I need to figure out where we are.
I think we're like gonna get lost in the.
If the timelines aren't gonna match up.
Yeah, right. I think the pages aren't gonna match now. Unfortunately.
Shit.
It's amazing how well it's worked so far, though.
Yeah.
I can't see how they match up there now.
Oh no! Really? I didn't. Okay.
I think.
All right.
We might have to abandon our.
Okay. Well. Anyway, it's pretty incredible here that we're getting to some more backstory here, and they explain how these competitor arm dealers, how I had one you're killed, and you should be thankful that I had him killed, even though there's this other one we can buy from now. Again, more flashback stuff here. So weird.
I mean, because Tony must have a big elf village page, right? Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's next one.
I think all of this, yeah, you're right. All of this, no. All of this, I figured it out, is all of this background here. So Tony took the 2 pages to go through it, and so did Dane, but it's just spread up in just different ways.
Got it.
Whatever. Done. Okay.
Let's
now
give it to Tony.
Yeah, Tony. Okay. Wasn't that a band in the 90s? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so then now here, this is kind of cool. I think I'm giving it to Tony right away, even though the perspective on the elves is much clearer on Dane's drawing here. But I just do love anytime that Tony's doing the landscapes and any of that stuff. I just love it. But this is where it's explained that there's a dozen elves here around in this village, and here's the professor chilling with them. And now he's talking about how I will return this camel to its people if I can leave here alive. He's being captured here by these elves, and they're not happy that he's stolen this golden camel, guys.
Oh,
So strange.
Bill.
Miller.
Super weird.
So strange. I mean, again,
You
Tony's
guys are digging this, though?
Yeah,
No, I like Dane's.
Oh,
Wow. Why? What the
man, you're killing me.
I like Dane's because I like to get the scale of like. I also like the professor's design.
But you want
I like the
appropriate
scale.
You want appropriate scale?
I need the scale. They're knee height.
Yeah, I don't like how like they're all like kind of all lost there in the middle.
Yeah, I don't know.
I am
what the hell's going on
vetoing just for the sake of these
there. You can't
trapezoid.
veto.
Well,
You
it's 2 to
can't
1.
Veto.
2 to 1.
Listen, Tony's much more of an art. I would be shocked if Dane is still making comics.
True.
And not
Yeah,
even to
I
be
doubt it.
funny. I just feel like he probably and we know that Tony is still going for it. He just is way more of an artist to me. Like I see all of this sort of shortcomings of Dane's work that I have
It's
seen
more
myself
boring.
do.
It's definitely boring.
It's just like
And-
he's
and-
just like
yeah.
trying to convey something where Tony's like has a vision,
He does.
you know.
He does. Yeah.
That's true.
That is true.
There are times though that I really love generic.
Oh yeah,
Artwork.
100%.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, that page is one of them.
This is great, and already it looks like Dane's getting a little lazy, if you ask me. So Master Elf Keeper, I am the Master Elf Keeper from the subconscious dream dimension. Weird handshake. Am I dreaming then?
Yeah.
And this is the professor. Don't forget the 2 different professor depictions. Fiction and reality intersects on this island, but you and I are there together in a physical sense. So they're occupying the same space. But it is the dream of all of these elves to overcome the Medusa curse. So now another frickin' thing introduced. I'm here to act out their dream and assure them that they will move again. Because they're petrified, y'all. Then the professor is, what made them petrified? You spoke of Medusa. Of her curse, not her person. What?
Yeah, duh.
Doi. I have to go with Tony on this, but
Yeah, I mean, I love that bottom left panel is so cool, and
Yeah,
he's that weird stance that he's doing. It's like so bizarre.
so bizarre.
Like his hands
I
behind
just
the
like
back.
that the word balloon is taking up like
Yeah.
is covering all of his body.
Whole body.
It's really crazy.
Love
He's
it.
taking a dump behind his workboard.
I think I like Dane's page better though.
Oh,
Oh, you dirty dog.
I already wrote down Tony. I sense my servant coming. Are you starting to fade? So now the Master Elf Keeper is starting to fade, and he's like, I must be out of range. He can't get Wi-Fi. 4G. From the elf.
Yeah, like Wi-Fi.
From the elves' subconscious, I'm drifting back into the dream dimension. And then 2 penis silhouettes show up to say, "Are you the professor?" And then halt from above. Here comes the floating, awesome hovercraft. Halt.
Yeah.
I might give this one to Dane here.
Yeah, Dane for that last
because
panel. I like that.
I love this and I
I
love
like
this.
that last panel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same.
And this and this.
I like that grimy soldier boat hovercraft pilot soldier guy.
This guy?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
no,
this guy. Oh yeah, heh. Yeah. He's got a good knack
It
for
just
like
looks like
extras.
it just looks like a notebook drawing from high
Mhm.
school, you know.
Yeah.
Which is like
Definitely.
all that I really ask for from Power Comics art.
Of course.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Trapper Keeper Doodle.
Trapper
Yeah.
Keeper. All right, moving on. I think we're moving at a brisk pace now. Oh, here is now we see Bill W. Miller's bizarre fixation.
Oh, yes.
Bizarre Ricochet fixation, which is
Wasn't that your new metal band in high school, Ricochet Fixation?
Yes, it was. Totally. But Ricochet, it's so weird. Every freaking Jontar has the Ricochet gimmick. So good news, Stacy. I beat a deal out of Tom Roy. Don't know who the fuck you're talking about, dude. Sorry. He's tied up back here crying over his bruises. Awesome drawing of Jontar pulling out the sword.
Yes.
Ricochets. Ping. And then, oh my god, the professor gets hit with the... Which is much more upsetting in Tony's than it is in Dane's, which is very cartoony.
Oh man.
This is
That's
upsetting.
so much more pathetic in Dane's.
That's what I mean. No, upsetting in an emotional sense.
Yeah.
Like I'm sad for him, but here I'm like glad for him. And then this is amazing too, of her catching the golden camel and then hitting him in the fucking face with it, which I had to stare at a little bit because I thought it was literally her pulling his, skin yogurt chunks. That's what I thought.
Yeah. Oh,
even though I love this.
yeah, that's so good.
I know this is a tough one.
great.
This is great too, and this is a great Ricochet. I just hate this. I love these two. This is kind of amazing. This kind of exemplifies what we're doing here. Is like showing these side by side.
Yeah,
catching this tiny camel. What the fuck are we reading,
dude? There's so many things going on. I do like the professor getting shot on Dane's page because it's so
of course you do.
Pathetic.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's so much more. It's much more sad.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like it's a turn of events I didn't see coming. Which it's a testament, I guess, to my own Power Comics ability to decipher stories because I actually understood that this professor character was instrumental to the plot and was getting shot, and that was a big deal. So
that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
And it's so bizarre that in both issues that Jontar is supposed to be this hero, but he's such a failure because he fucks up Ricochets twice in these two comics.
Yeah.
So it's such a bizarre hero. He's like this
it's
total
like not a power.
No. He's like Ricochet.
Friendly fire, Jontar.
Friendly fire. So weird. Dane, are we getting it to Dane?
I love that she calls out the Ricochet. Ricochet. Dane is like he's like Hanna-Barbera-esque kind of compared to
very much so.
The hardcore Tony.
All right, I'm giving this one to Tony, I think, already, just based upon the depiction of the Master Elf Keeper here and Jontar's floating head in his fucking dreams. Amazing. I love it. And it's also clear what's happening, and I think Dane's getting lazy over here big time.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, I fucking hate this comic. This is also more clear to me that she's climbing this rope, and this is very Bill Miller, the writer, very Millerian, is that she's climbing with this sword, but the sword inadvertently cuts the rope. Like, that's just so... How would you think of that? Like, how would you think of that unless you were, like, staring at a candle for 3 hours? Like, I don't... And, wow, Gabe, I didn't know you made an appearance here, too, in this issue.
Hey. Elf schnoz.
But, so basically she's climbing this rope. Obviously, it gets cut. And they're trying to make some sort of spiritual link here, which is just actually cool. I'm definitely digging this and the way this is drawn. It's Tony. I don't want to hear it, Ben.
That's fine. But the first three panels on both pages are ridiculous because first she's climbing up the ladder with just the camel idol. And then we have Jontar in the dreamscape. And then they're like, get the sword. And the next panel, she has the sword. There's no her reaching to grab the sword or...
She's climbing a rope with a sword and a camel in either hands.
Just like bonkers.
Yeah, like your fucking dungeon master in D&D would be like, you can't do that. You can't be climbing a rope holding a fucking little camel and a sword, motherfucker. That's not gonna
Makes me a little sad though that I can't like make these kind of logical leaps in my own work.
I know.
Just are like so fascinating.
Yeah, you're too logical.
I know it's like maybe we need to like only do comics like after we like spin in a circle for 20 minutes and then sit down.
Yeah, exactly.
Try and do it. Am I? Oh, I think this is kind of a little carryover here.
Yeah,
I did do it.
Yeah.
I did do it.
that's right.
In catching her, I did do it. Unbelievable.
That's a callback to like the earlier panel, I think.
Yeah. No, I know, but it's funny.
It is hilarious.
Like out of context. So then these guys are speeding away. This is so funny, Dane.
His brother definitely posed for that.
Yeah. His mother posed for that. So then, much clearer, I think, to what's happening here in what's his name? Tony's. The speeding away of the land speeder crashing here on the shore, and the guys being like, you know, like I get it, but here I love this. Told you this wasn't safe. Your pilot just died. Shut up. I can still fly us. So, I don't know, guys. What do you think?
I mean, what the fuck did Tony turn the spacecraft into in that last panel? It's like
Unbelievable.
a cyber trash can.
I think I like Tony's page better. Even though I love Dane's page, Tony's page is just way weirder, and there's just like cooler stuff happening.
Weirder is
It's
better.
more exciting.
Yep. Okay. Let's moving on.
I do like Dane's bad guy better though.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree. Okay. So this is amazing. I love this. Sword in the leg. I love both sword in the legs actually. This is very much more power comics.
Yeah.
Just like the just total mundaneness of this, like an everyday sword going through an everyday leg.
Love it. Love it.
Like this is just on the Tuesday in Power Comics.
Yeah,
It's like a WikiHow article.
WikiHow.
It's like WikiHow to get a sword out of your leg.
Oh man.
Get out of here.
Man, I aspire to WikiHow drawing.
Yeah, you got to do that exactly. Good show.
Well,
Okay, so I don't or good. Whoa, discrepancy. Tony typo.
Tony typo? What
Tony
did she
typo.
write?
No, it's probably not a typo. She says good show, and then she says here
doesn't she?
good throw.
Oh.
So
Oh,
it's very different. Very different. Tony
wait,
typo.
I thought that she was the bad guy.
Oh, I think she is.
She
playing
plays both sides.
a little bit.
She plays both
Oh,
sides.
okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. And so good throw, and I didn't kill him. That's the best part of it. But I did, cause him a life of eternal fucking pain. Because that will
I
never
don't
heal.
know. He could have hit. Yeah, it looks like he could have hit the femoral artery.
Yeah, I think he's dying.
He's dying.
And he's on a boat in the middle of nowhere on an
Temple
island.
fucking island. Okay, grab the rail. We're taking
down.
off. She takes the controls. This could be anybody in Tony Lorenz's world, and very clearly it is.
Yeah, exactly.
It is her.
Figure at a distance.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, Tony, like that first panel is so interesting and dynamic and such great art, but then he just gives him 2 kneecaps out of nowhere. He's just like
Whoop, whoop. Yeah.
just doubles it up.
Yeah, why not? Why not? Amazing. Okay, moving on. Are we giving this to Tony or are we giving this to Dane?
I kind of like Dane's.
Yeah, I think so.
You would, Ben.
No, I agree.
Scott.
I agree because this is you sold us on WikiHow, and so
Yeah.
it's your fault.
Fine, I'll take it.
Okay.
Take the blame.
Yeah, gotta make this a close race, guys. Okay, so
Here we
now
are.
last 2 pages. Tony's is on 2, Dane's is on 1. Okay, nice fucking Beavis and Butthead here. Like what the fuck?
That's amazing.
It's amazing. Fly to New York. I'm turning you into Detective Dolchek. Okay, so now she's double crossing him right as they're flying away. And then but it's really weird because must we fly into captivity? Oh no, I'm sorry. Jontar is turning her in.
Yeah, he's turning her in.
Sorry. Didn't get that. As soon as we do, the sooner I can finish my business on the island. So he wants to go back to the island after he turns her in.
Must we fly into captivity?
Yeah, must we
That
fly?
is so mental.
It is. Is that said here? Hold on. Must we fly? I don't think so.
It's like a Scorpions lyric, like German to English translation.
Totally. What about the elves? You believe that there are some on the island? Yeah, I don't think "Must We Fly into Captivity" is on here. Wow. Weird. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, amazing wrap up here, and then her operation she works with will find out that she's a double agent working both sides, and then he's pissed about the double crossing, which is very noticeable in his frustrated face. And then of course, this is page 1. Sorry,
Yeah, that's it.
Yep. So I think we might be missing something on Tony's at the end.
Okay.
But that is it. Yeah, because there's 3 more panels here that we don't have for Tony's, which he did tell me. So we are missing a couple of drawings. So that's it.
Wow, man. So Tony just gave up at the end there.
And then look at this, just really quick. Look how hateful Jontar is at the end. While you 3 rot in prison, I'll be clearing my name. And
with a smirk on his face.
I know. So,
I do like that drawing of Jontar.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't look like him at all in any of the other panels in the comic.
Most chiseled.
Look.
Jontar.
Look at the 2 Jontars here.
Might be a swipe.
Yeah.
Might have swiped it.
Yeah, so weird.
Oh yeah, I think he probably did.
All right, final score.
That's the straight on view of Jontar, and everything else is some weird angle he couldn't figure out.
Yeah. Tell him Johnny sent you. So he is Johnny. So they wanted you to call him.
Oh yeah.
The unofficial home away from home of the Jontar creative team. Wow.
Nice.
Man,
this is the ad for the... Yeah, and if you go back to my unboxing of Miller Comics video I did, the picture of Bill W. Miller and Dane Barrett is actually at the Funny Book Factory.
Nice.
Jontar trivia for you there. So that's it, and that wraps it up. And then, of course, when you turn the page, they just fucking bury Tony here in the reader's reaction, And then, of course, we get this... God knows why. And we get this amazing teaser for issue number 3, which I do love. Issue number 3 is a fucking killer as well. I mean,
that's
look at it.
That's a great back page.
I know, and
it really is.
And you see this guy here named Fatso, this lizard king, man, and Jontar's like, "Get me out of his stomach," So weird.
So weird.
So weird.
The Medusa curse.
Yeah, there it is. That's why they're petrified, man. All right, so final
baby.
tally. I had 15 for Tony and 10 for Dane.
Wow.
Oh wow. Pretty close.
Close call, man.
Close call. I think right and just.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
Look, I get, Bill writing a script and getting Jontar 1 art back from Tony and probably shocked that it didn't look like,
George Perez.
Yeah, exactly. And what he was imagining he was going to get back compared to Jontar 1.
And these go so well together.
Well, yeah, it's the same artist.
But just the cover design. It's great.
Yeah.
Love the size of that book too.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Totally.
I know. So I think it's pretty clear at the end of the day that Tony's is more compelling. I think it's more interesting. The fact that he was able to unearth this and this exists is more
incredible.
It's more like,
amazing.
Tony, what else do you fucking have? Like, look.
I know.
Now.
Seriously.
He's like, I have a golden camel here.
But amazing. But yeah, and it's just really cool to be able to see this. I mean, I never would have thought when we were on this Jontar journey that it would lend itself to, just talking to these guys, but then to find a lost issue. That's fucking insane.
That's
unbelievable.
And that there's parallel Jontar universes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
With different things happening in them. And
a lot of times when you start to pick apart some of the Power comics, you'll learn about their history, and it's not it kind of takes away from the mystery or the excitement of it.
The
'cause you're
mystique.
getting some of,
Yeah.
you're getting some of the pieces and they're kind of boring or mundane, but everything we've uncovered about Jontar, it just makes it so much better. It's unreal.
It does.
Bill having only communicating through letters and using a typewriter still in 2021, and just how incredible Tony is, and this new legacy of alternate universe Jontar.
Yeah.
Too. It's unreal. It's unbelievable.
And it's really interesting.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's really interesting too when you look at Tony Lorenz's art now.
Mm-hmm.
Is that, you know, it still has some of the uniqueness, the singularness of it. But obviously he's polished it a lot and he's worked on it more. But it's still him, and I really appreciate that, and I love that. And I mean, fuck, like it makes me want to write something for him to draw, like super bad.
Oh my god, I know.
Whoa,
you know,
please do that.
I know, I'm going to. I have to like you know, stand on my head for like 20 minutes and like, you know, like, you know, have my girlfriend hit me over the head with a baseball bat and then sit down and write something. And then
smoke some salvia and write a power comic.
Yeah, exactly. Like I need to like breathe helium for like 2 hours and then sit down. Yeah, no, I just really appreciate his art. And it's so cool to see, like, this is such a unique experience, like being able to compare worlds and compare what if scenarios with Jontar in like real time. This is like the craziest power comics exercise like ever. It's like now we're really deconstructing this work in this world by being able to compare it panel by panel with two different artists. Excuse me, Jesus Christ.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah. So, any final thoughts, or it's pretty cut and dry?
I mean, thank you for bringing this into the world, Evan. This is so special.
It's amazing. I mean, anytime we can get more Tony Lorenz artwork, you know, out there, I think is obviously a benefit. But then to have something that he didn't even know about, and the fact that it's like an unreleased alternate version of Jontar 2 is like,
that's as niche as it gets.
It's like too perfect, you know. It's amazing.
And I love how it's issue number 2 we're talking about. Like, you know, it's so like you know, but just fantastic. I love it. And thanks for joining us, everybody, for this very long, overlong edition, feature-length version of the Power Comics Book Club. I mean, I think we needed to give the runtime to this to really deconstruct it properly. I didn't want to rush it, and I'm happy that, you know, this is our feature film. This is the Power Comics feature film. So thanks for watching. And on the Patreon, so if you become a Patreon subscriber, patreon.com/powercomics, we're going to put up a little bonus video. Because Tony Lorenz also sent us 9 pages of his redraw attempt at Jontar #1. So we're going to take a quick look at that on our Patreon. I'm not going to show it here. We're going to show it there. So go subscribe. It's $5 a month. And you can see, you know, some weird and wacky shit that you can't get anywhere else there. So thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.